Welcome back, my friends. It is episode 2 of the Brooklyn Buccal podcast. With me again as your host, the nasal nutjob that is Cav, aka Johnny Cigarette. How are you, my friends? How have you been since last week, since the first episode? Has a lot changed in your life? Is it same old, same old? That's okay. There doesn't have to be something new every day. As usual, I'm obnoxiously and ignorantly drinking out of this new mug that I got last week, actually. It's a snake zodiac mug. Nice, nice depth to it. A cup of tea for like that would last you the entire day. So this one, I was thinking I was going to talk about the moving situation we've been through while we've been over here. So as I was saying last week, we arrived, and so the way we went about it was we decided to we did a sublet for 3 weeks off this girl in Bed-Stuy, and she was out. She actually tours with Tame Impala, which we thought was like pretty cool or whatever, and it was like, it was a pretty nice spot, and because you come over here and you don't want to fucking you don't want to just rush into anything, because you could end up like getting a lease for some fucking shithole. But we moved in there, and it was kind of like a bit of a weird setup. Like it was like our kind of like space, like studio, and then it would be like a glass door into the kitchen, into another glass door, which was kind of like who we were residing with was this tall man called Keith, and from the start he seemed like a nice enough guy. He helped us carry our bags up when we arrived that night and everything like that. But as like those 3 weeks progressed, God, we just got so sick of this guy. Oh my God, just constantly his bellowing voice, constantly just talking absolute shite on the phone about like his like kid with like ADHD and like fucking yada yada, and like all giving life advice to all these other guys. It's like, Jesus, you never fucking get out of the house. We wouldn't really thankfully at the same time there wasn't any real interaction until like one day. I think we were like, at the time, we had just kind of started looking for jobs, so but we were taking our time as well, because you want to like settle in properly, get the bank account sorted, get the phone set up and everything like that. And I think at the time I was working on a good friend of mine, Dylan Theodore, and Rob's film, amazing. Honestly, one of my favourite films that came out of IDT last year. And also another good friend of mine, Dylan Brannock, the Dusty Brannock. Because it was a kind of like a return the favour sort of thing, because I'd worked on their films, or they had worked on my films as well, and done really good jobs, as well as other people. I'd like to say thanks as well, obviously, to Owen Pooh Rice and Sarah Davin Murphy, Caldwell McCoke. But I think I was working on Dylan and Rob's film at the time, and he knocked on our glass door, and he was like, "Sorry, guys, there was like a whole bag of sugar here earlier on, and now the whole thing is fucking empty. So I was just wondering which one of you guys would like to maybe go to the store and get some more." And Ash and I kind of looked at each other, and just because I was like a little like physically closer to him, I just said, "Oh, I don't think either of us touched that sugar." And he was like, "Okay. So I'll just go get it then." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then he like kind of slammed the door. I went, "What the hell?" And I said to her, I was like, "You?" Well, it was, I was obviously going to be the suspect. I'm a fucking sugar fiend. Hence the lack of tooth last week. Obviously. But I was like, "No, it wasn't me." And she doesn't take sugar in her coffee or tea. But we were like, "What the fuck?" So when we eventually got out of that place or whatever, we were glad to see the back of that guy, but not the cat. We were looking after a cat while there, called Finn. Shit name for a cat, I know. But he only had one eye, and he was a big guy, but he was cute. We liked him a lot. And so from then we were lined up to move into this other place, but that ended up fucking falling through, and it was a case as well. They just never really got back to us. So we were in a very panicked situation, and then thankfully from friends over here, I can't say it enough. Like they let us like sleep in their houses, like wherever it might have been, like a drawer or a cupboard or maybe the bath. But in that panic situation, we ended up moving into our next place, which is my friends. Don't ever do an Airbnb in 412 Throop. Holy cow! This guy that lives there, who we subletted from, should he remain nameless? Is anybody even going to listen to this podcast? I don't know. But kind of from the get-go, you're kind of like, this guy is a little weird. He's got very much, he's a small guy, our age, but looks like maybe in his like 40s or 50s. Smokes a single cigarette a day. He's quite the comb over going on. He's very much like a 3D Homer Simpson. He's got these 3 thick strands just like straddling over the top of his scalp. And but yeah, we're like, yeah, we're not in the, he's asking way too much, but we're not in a position to say no at this stage, just so we say yes, we're doing a month by month sort of thing. And then, oh, good grief, how that month just got weirder and weirder. So, over like awkward dinners and breakfasts and things like that, we would find out, mainly through his like girlfriend, that he was quite, he was these born again Christians. And I remember her saying to me one day, she was like, yeah, Justin, he had a bout where he wasn't, but he's returned to us again. He has returned. I'm like, geez, what the fuck did he do? He get fucking kicked out like that. And so there was that element, and then there was one particular incident one night where we had our friends over here, Ewan and Zoe, over for like just a couple of beers in the back garden. It was nice, summer evening or whatever. And I came back in at one stage to just, grab another bottle from the fridge or something like that. This guy is just so fucking weird. He made this fucking like I don't know what it was, like kind of like a wooden box that I think he would keep like just duvets and stuff in, but he had rented out his room to the Swedish girl that he knew, so he was sleeping down there on this box that was basically like a coffin, and he was lying there in quite a like sleepover club pose, watching professional wrestling, which is, to me, couldn't be more like in the closet. But also, obviously, with his religious views, that would be against the grain. So he goes, hey, Keith, and I was like, yeah, Justin, what's up? And he goes, who are those guys out in your back garden? I was like, oh, they're just friends of ours. And I'm just about to ask the poor guy, I'm like, hey, do you want to join us or something like that? Tear away from the fucking Undertaker for a moment in your fucking coffin. And he's like, oh, you gotta tell them to leave. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you gotta tell those guys to leave. And I was like, what? He goes, well, you never said that they were coming over, so they can't be here. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And I go out, and he goes, it's okay this time, but it can happen again. So I, go out and explain this to the guys, and they're like, what the fuck? And obviously that makes them feel very uncomfortable. They leave. And so, kind of like vexed by this or whatever, the next morning, I brought it up with him again. And I just asked, I was like, how come, Justin, it seems that you're able to have people over to the house all the time, working on this. Oh, guys, I think when I'm putting up this podcast, I'll link you the website. Fucking just, he was doing this, he was like making this like his version of Craigslist basically for like artists and residents and stuff like that. But on it, this just clarified he was a pure fucking Ron Atkinson, Mr. Bean without any charm. As a full-on alien. He had these like fucking commandments that he'd written himself to live by, and also a letter to the earth. That, yeah, So he does not like this at all. He does not like me taking a stand. And the next day, he just, he comes out with all this, like, his reply was just this fucking, like, gibberish, just, like, shaking in his teeny boots. His fucking comb over falling apart. And he says, the next day I'm in work. At the time I was doing an internship in cartoon studio in Brooklyn. And I get a call from Ashley, and she's saying he wants to talk to us later on, apparently tonight. And the next day was the first of the next month, which is when we'd be. But we were doing a month-to-month thing, so I fucking knew. I knew straight off the bat. I was like, this guy is fucking. He's gonna try and kick us out. But thinking, oh, he has a Christian heart or whatever. He'll let us stay the one more night so we can suss ourselves out or something like that. And she calls me then. She goes, yeah, he wants us out, but he wants us out tonight. And I was like, are you kidding me? And she's like, no. And she's freaking out because she has to go into work that night. So I return home and I'm fucking fuming. I remember I skated home and literally so fast because it was like my foot was stamping constantly into the gravel. I was, vein popping in the side of my head, looking like fucking like the little boot of Italy, pulsating. And I get home and we have to do all our laundry, and I realize I have to pack up all our stuff. And I go down and I see him reading at the kitchen table or whatever, and he goes, oh, so did Aisling? You'd see her name constantly written in emails and stuff like that, but yet he still chose to call her Aisling. It's Aisling, you fucking moron. Anyway, he's like, hey, Aisling explained a situation. And I was like, yes, Justin, she did. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, can you give me some sort of reason why you're kicking us out? He goes, well, I just didn't like that sign of disrespect you gave me the other night. And I was like, well, I was just I was just talking to you, my friend. I was just having a conversation. And you obviously weren't having it. And then I was like, is there anything else that seems to be? But he was ready for this one. Oh boy, was he ready. He runs. He does a fucking 50-meter sprint to the fucking cupboard, and he whips out this tea towel that he'd bought that had been on the kitchen table a couple of nights ago, and we just like placed it onto like the window in the kitchen. And he goes, look at this, it's all crumbled and everything. And I was like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Do you want me to get a dry clean or something like that? Is that what this is all about? And he goes, just stain. And I was like, show me the stains. Show me the stains, my friend. Nothing. So we kind of like, I was like, there's no way. I was like, you can't, you're supposed to be this Christian man or whatever. There's no way that you can let us stay one out. You say you're a big follower of Jesus, but you kick us out into the fucking cold like that. How could you do something into the fucking gutter? And without a stutter, he's like, no, sorry, you guys, you have to get out tonight. And I was like, fuck. Go around the corner, do the laundry, and I start packing them. Thankfully, it's still the start of the time here, so we hadn't picked up that much, like, belongings at that stage, but still took a fucking while. And so I'm waiting for Ashley to get home from work, and she's working quite a late shift, so I think we end up leaving at like 12. But at one stage, like, I'm just kind of thinking, what items from the kitchen can I take with us? And I end up emotionally eating any cereal that we picked up, because obviously, it's Americans. All American cereals are quite a novelty over here, and I throw them all into one big bowl, and I'm eating them all down there. And he comes down, and it was almost like him and that fucking Mary of Magdalene that he has were celebrating the fact that we were leaving our fucking heathen selves. And so they'd had a big fucking spread. They'd fucking had our last supper, basically. And he comes down and he's like, in pants, and it's almost like he's trying to say, he'd actually changed jumper, as if he was saying to me, yeah man, I get sex. I'm not a virgin. I get sex. And he comes over and he's like, oh, hey man, how's it going? And he readjusts the comb over and stuff like that. He's got the M and the G in the side of the ear. And he says, I feel really terrible about the way it all worked out. And I'm like, I just kind of grumped at him. And he goes, during summer I'll probably have a couple of barbecues, and if you guys want to come over. And I was like, yes, of course, yeah, of course, we'll come over for your little barbecues. Fuck off, you fucking idiot. As if we'd ever fucking stepped forth in your fucking house of sin again. So in between that time, we're trying to find like a permanent place, but it's very fucking difficult to find over here, my friends. Very difficult. And in between that time, we end up doing like an Airbnb. And the first one was like quite out of the way. It was out in Rockaway Ave. And it was like the best we could do with the funds that we had at the time. And this place was like a fucking prison cell. It was like downstairs. It was like underground. And there was like bars in the window. And it was just this tiny little bed and this tiny cramped little room. And I remember the two of us just sitting on the bed one night and just being like, fuck, this really is rock bottom. Was this the right idea coming over here? And, is this it? Like, and then the bed goes out from under us because we didn't actually know that the bed was on wheels, and we were literally like, just like, fucking hell, like, this is so bad. But thankfully, Ashton sleuths around again, and after listening to so many murder podcasts, she's like gotten to the bottom of the case. She finds this new Airbnb for us to get out of there, thankfully, out of that fucking hellhole. We do a bit of a prison break into this new place, which is in Bushwick, and it's like this place called Elder Street. Oh my god, that was a treat. That week was one of the best fucking weeks we had over here. It was like this big apartment block, but they had this amazing roof. That was the thing, and it was just like, this is like fucking like start of the summer, and every night there'd be something going on up there. Like they'd be like screening movies. I saw Do the Right Thing up there for the first time. Such a good movie. I feel like they should play that movie when people are coming over to New York for the first time, because that movie just screams New York. But when I originally arrived there, I got in, I think from like work or something like that, and I brought like our cases over and stuff, and this guy's there and he's on the phone and he's like, hey man, what's going on? What's going on? My name's Corey. How are you, man? Are you on the Airbnb? And I was like, oh yeah, man, how's it going? And he goes, oh, cool. And then another guy, he arrives home from work, and they're like, oh, dude, what's going on? Yeah. And I think their names were like Corey and Cody, both from California. And, we're like hanging out. And at the time, I think I was trying to like, do my like resume. And then out of nowhere, then the guy's like, hey man, you want to hit? And I was like, well, that's quite a nice gesture of you. We've only been here like 15 minutes, and already you're offering me like this like ball. And, I don't know, people know me. I hardly smoke weed. I'm not that big. I'm not a fan of it like whatsoever. If it's there, I'm like, okay, sure. But it's not my cup of tea. I prefer a drink, personally. A 40 over here, a fucking Miller High Life, hands down, every time. But I'm like, yeah, sure. And again, it's a case as well. Never done that sort of thing before. So I'm even like, how the heck do I even do this? And he's like, just fucking hold that little holder, you just light it up, and then, oh my god, it fucking blows the head off me. And we're all just like, three of us sitting around there. I have no concept of time. I don't know what the fuck is going on. In my head, I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? Who the fuck are these two guys? I had thought my brain had been transported into like this like surfer stoner guy. This was me now for the rest of my life. I was like, I have been cursed. This is a hex. I was terrified. Across the room, the original guy, he started just freaking me out. I was like, what is that guy doing? He kept like bringing his hand up to his head and back down a bit really quickly. And in my very paranoid skull, I was like, this guy's fucking throwing darts at me. And I was like dodging to and fro. I was like, get away from me. I was like, stop doing that. I look over then, he's just, all he's doing, he's drinking a fucking Fanta or something. Lemon, I don't know, maybe orange. And so, I was just like, I need to get the fuck away from these guys. And then at one stage then as well, he says this comment. And, with all this as well, of course I'm a little giggly. He says this comment then as well, and he goes, hey man, you never met Derek? He's saying to the other guy, he's saying, you never met Derek? Hey, and he's like, no man. He's like, have you never met any of my wheelchair friends before? And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean wheelchair friends? I was like, what a weird statement to come out. Who has like quite a collection of like disabled friends like that? It's just bizarre. It's like fucking like a a trio of fucking Tiny Tims. Anyway, they're like, hey man, do you want to come up to the roof with us? I'm like, no guys, I actually got to finish this resume. And then I'll join you up there in, I don't know, 50 minutes, something like that. They're like, cool beans, man, cool fucking beans. We'll see you up there in a bit. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I jump. I fucking run to the room that we're staying in. I lock the door and I'm freaking out. I'm texting Ash and I'm like, when are you going to be home? Please, these guys are going to fucking kill me. This is a terrible mistake. We're in so much shit right now. My head is going to fucking explode. And I remember thinking as well, I was like, I need something to calm me down. I'm so fucked right now. And I thought to myself, I was like, think. And I thought, hey, I'll watch a show. But I needed a show that was so down to earth, so fucking just like run of the mill, that would just bring me back into reality. And I ended up going for Seinfeld, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Holy cow, that terrible experience opened my eyes to an amazing show. It's one of my favorite fucking shows now. It brought me right down. I'd like to say thanks to fucking Larry David and the rest of the crew. Personal favorite of mine at the time was, of course, Kramer. I know that's a lot of people's favorites. And then it's like, I don't know, a lot of people know about this. Well, obviously it was like a big deal, but I don't know, for people that aren't as familiar with the show, just look up, there's like this night that he did at a comedy club like a couple of years ago. Just check that out, and it kind of changes your view of him. But of course, still love the character, still love him. But yeah, like amazing. We go up to the roof all the time up there. It was so cool. There was like this pylon up there. It was like whatever, like almost like another 2 stories up onto the apartment. And this old, like 80-year-old man would go up there every afternoon. I don't know what it was. Was it a case that he was like doing it to commemorate his like wife's death or something like that? But he would always go up there and he would get a ladder and he would get up onto the first kind of like level of the pylon, which is like scary enough. You're very, very fucking high there. And then with just pure brute old man strength, he would lift the ladder up onto the next tier, go up again, and then he would just take these amazing pictures up there. I was like, you are fucking nuts. Like, I suppose maybe at that stage you don't really give a shit as much anymore. But yeah, fucking amazing fucking time there. And yeah, from there then we got a place. So that was like for just a week, and then we got a place in back over kind of to Crown Heights area. It's a really nice area. Really enjoyed staying there because it was super close to Prospect Park, which is really, really fucking nice. Really nice for like a walk and stuff like that. You go there in the night, and like I draw there a lot of the time, and there'd be these like fireflies going around and stuff. It was so cool. And while we were there, we were staying with this guy's Zach. He's like a lawyer or something like that. And one of the ones, it's kind of awkward. It's just like, we'll always make small talk and stuff with us. And then this other guy moved in. He was doing just kind of like a bit of a sublet as well, just for the month, the same as us. And at the time, I was working on my last film, Buckle Up, and I was doing it down in his room, which was originally unoccupied, which I'd been told was like a communal space. But then, like, he'd come down and he'd be like, "Hey man, sorry, can you please like leave?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, of course, yeah, whatever." And then, but I do remember, like, there nothing crazy went on. I was like very busy, like working there, a lot of the time. But I do remember one day coming home from Manhattan, and it would be my usual thing to go straight back down there and keep working on the film, because I was doing it for obviously a good friend of mine, Gareth Lyons. He hosts amazing, the only person I think that I know that would be able to do something like this, amazing like alternative animation festival at home called Hackfest, and I was trying to get it in for this like deadline or whatever. Unfortunately, I didn't get it finished, but it's done now. It's like up online and stuff like that if you guys want to check it out. So Ashton obviously thought I was down there, and I hear, hey, what are you doing down there? Come on, what are you doing down there? And she could hear munching crisps, going mad on it, like going for a jog and a couple of walkers. And then I come out of the bathroom and I was like, "What are you shouting at?" And she's like, "Oh my god." She's like, "I thought you were down there. I think that's the Indian guy down there, and he was just eating crisps really loudly." And I was just shouting at him, being like, what are you doing out here? Give me some crisps. Give me some crisps up here. But yeah, so that was just for the month, and then obviously in that time again, then it was a case of like on the hunt for the finally, it was, what was that? That was like we moved basically like 6 times. We needed the home, we needed the fucking like place that you'd raise an IKEA fucking cabinet in. And so we arrived here. We kind of went full circle. We went back very near to like where the original place was, and yeah, we ended up back in Bed-Stuy, place we are now. We got it through like a real estate agent. Fucking hell, lad was such a prick. But yeah, we got it. But it had been newly restored or whatever. But Jesus, the guys, the builders, fucking hell. I know, because a lot of the family on my mom's side are like carpenters and builders and stuff like that. I always know they do like incredible jobs. The guys over here don't give a shit. And I remember us coming in on the first day, and the guy is like, yeah man, don't open that cupboard door because the light is there. And I was like, why did you put a glass light in front of the door when, why would you do something like that? We had all this fucking shit with the sink, the bath, I enjoy a nice bath, the fucking plug wouldn't fucking close and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, we've made it our own now, and it's like we've also got a new roommate. I got for Ashton's birthday, Billy. She's outside at the moment, probably asleep. A little black cat. She's something else. She's a real cutie, real fucking Vera from Coronation Street, saggy belly on her, but she's something else. But yeah, and like as well, it's the case as well that we have it's very yourself. It's a case of like gentrification or whatever here. So there was a lot of like kind of like very much the locals like live downstairs, and there was we pass and say it's always like very courteous. Everyone's like, oh hello, how are you? Lovely to see you. How are you? And but there was the people that live directly below us. For quite some time, they would constantly blare music, and it was just like non-stop. And the thing is as well, it's music, unlike my mother, music is not like a din to me. I enjoy music of any kind, more or less. Give or take that metal kind of screamo sort of stuff, not my kind of cup of tea for the most part. But the thing is with this, it was constant radio, which meant constant ads, which last summer constantly meant wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. I know you want to see me nicky. So it's just constantly DJ Khaled, DJ Calypso. So I get on my wick one night when we come back, and I bang on the door, and I just say, "Would you please, knock that off?" We go upstairs, whatever, and it turns off. And then so the next day I come home from work, whatever, and one of the girls that's outside, it's okay because we're pals now or whatever, but she comes in with me into the apartment. I'm quite courteous. I open the door and everything for her, which it's just like a natural thing. And she goes into that apartment. I didn't realize she lived there. I didn't know who was living there. I thought it was like a fucking bunch of lousy teens. And she's like, "Hey man, I think your girlfriend was like banging on my door," which is it's a fair enough comment to start off with. I have quite slender fucking wrists. I don't have fingernails of a woman, that's for sure. But easily could fucking, you could. Anyway, and I was like, oh yeah, and I'm usually quite a stuttery guy. When somebody says something to me, I can't get anything back out again. But over here, because a lot of people say so many personal comments to you, in one of the positions I was working in over here, you would get a lot of abuse. I had this back that I built up. Plus, I was just coming home from work, and I was like, yeah, and she was like, yeah, tell him not to do it again. And I was like, maybe you shouldn't play your music so loud next time. How about that? And she says, I'll play my music how fucking loud as I want. And I'm kind of thinking now, maybe I shouldn't be telling this story because this could be going right down into plug hole into her fucking earlobe. Anyway, amplified in through a fucking hoop earring. And so she says, and she goes, I'll play my fucking music as loud as I fucking want. And I was like, just honestly, just turn it down like a little bit. It's very irritating. I'm walking upstairs and she's like, fuck you, faggot. And, I just can't believe, it's so weird. It's so weird that people still use that word. It's such a horrible, like, nasty word. But it's still very prominent over here, I feel like. Probably still the case at home as well, around a particular crowd. But, I'm just always like, what the fuck? So anyway, I just didn't worry about it. And then, it was a long day or whatever. So I'm like, and I was meeting up with friends of mine who were over here for the week. Jess and her boyfriend Richard were here, and we were meeting up that night in a really nice bar in Crown Heights. I really like, called Superpower. Definitely check it out if you're here. And I get so freaked out. Basically, for the entire day, I hear her constantly telling everybody that's on the block about the fact that I did this thing, and they know my name and everything like that. And I start freaking out. I tell Ashley, I'm like, shit, I'm in big trouble here. I think I've really fucked up. And I keep hearing her, she's like, yeah, you fucking idiot, you said this. And then she would, every time she'd tell the story again, she'd run back into the apartment, bang on her door, pretending to be me, and put on this, like, fucking, like, little squeaky voice. Fair enough, Mickey Mouse. And I was just like, fucking, I was so freaked out to go out that night. I was like, what if there's some fucking guy waiting down there to me, and then, yeah, you're knocking on my fucking girlfriend's door, how about I fucking knock your lights out? And I'm like, and he's walking here all over my fucking corpse. And so, it takes, have to build up the guts to, like, go out that night and everything like that. And, it turns out it's actually fine. They kind of forget about it. I'm like, I think we're gonna have to, like, move again now because of this. They don't give a shit. They're all out there smoking up away. And I'm like, hey guys, I turn to them all. We do like a Mighty Ducks huddle. I'm like, guys, I'm really sorry about the way I acted earlier. We're the new people here. Shouldn't take that sort of attitude. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. I want us all just to get along. We're all neighbours here. There doesn't need to be any friction like that. And they're like, don't worry about it, baby, it's fine. I was like, oh really? And they were like, yeah, don't worry about it, it's fine. You're good, you're cool. And I was like, thank you. And they're like, you should come out and smoke with us sometime. And I was like, me? Really? And at that time I thought I fucking never felt so fucking white before. But yeah, I think. But now we're here. Yeah, we haven't fucking left since. I think one thing I want to address as well with this is probably a lot of people think they'll probably see this podcast going up and stuff like that, and they're probably going to say, oh fuck, it's that fucking Cav guy again. He thinks he's the fucking, because he's in New York now, he's going to do a podcast. And, I've been thinking about this for a while, and it's just like, it's a very rough little, just tiny project I want to do. If anything, I think the reason I'm doing it is there's a lot of people that I miss at home, and I, hope it's the case as well that they miss me. And, we don't really converse that much, which is a shame. I wish we did. But the reason I did it was, it's just a way of saying, just letting you guys, letting you know how I'm getting on over here. I just want to tell you these funny little stories that I pick up along the way. Hopefully make you smile. That's one of my things in life. I really enjoy cheering people up, and I really hope that these shitty little whatever half-hour nuggets, just if they make you smile at least once, I think that'd be pretty cool. But that's the reason I'm doing it. So yeah, let me know what you think. I think I'm probably gonna call it there. I feel like I was stumbling around in the last one. I think probably, this one has been a little rough here and there. Get the nail file out, get it out of the cake that you send into prison. I feel like I just don't know how to end things. I don't know. If it's the case, if he makes it, I'd like to say a thank you as always, my partner in crime, Connor Buckless, the main man. He's thankfully done the theme music for this. if it plays at the start of it, you'll know it's there. If it's not, then that's fair enough. He's living the life over in Switzerland at the moment with a woman twice his age. He's at Saint Bernard at his feet. I think he's having a whale of a time. I hope he's doing good. All right, you fiends. I'm out. See you soon.